Let's start part 4. In this lesson, we did first how to graph sine, how to graph cosine, how to graph tangent, and then we did the preceding video tangent and secant. Now we're gonna move to part 4. It's step for fitting data for sine and cosine function. So I will be able to graph sine and cosine with all the transformation that they can give it to me. So the general form that you'll see, guys, it's a sine b x plus c plus d, or a cosine b x plus c plus d. What represent those letters? We start with a, or absolute value of a, because you know that if there is a minus here, it means there is a reflection with respect to x prime or x. The amplitude cannot be negative, guys, because it's a distance. So a here represent, or the absolute value represent the amplitude, and also it's the maximum value minus the minimum value over 2, and you will see that those formulas we will need it later for the application. The d, the vertical shift, ups and downs. So if I'm going up, it's gonna be plus d minus if I'm gonna go down. And this one represents the vertical shift. It's the maximum value plus the minimum over 2. Now b here represents 2 pi over the period. It means if I want to find the period, it's 2 pi over absolute value of b. And the c here represents the phase shift when I'm going left or right. Or if it's plus, it means I'm going to the left. And if it's minus, I'm going to the right. And then now in the application, you will see how I can do it also differently. So let's start with the first example. If I want to graph, guys, f of x is equal to sine 4x plus pi plus 5. First of all, I need to factorize by 4, because inside I need to see the value here be factor of the expression here. So first step, I need to factorize by 4. So it's gonna be here 4x plus pi over 4 plus 5. And now I can see all the possible transformations. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. First, the amplitude is 2. What does mean the amplitude? It means the distance between the maximum point and the midline is 2. Period, if I want to know the period, it's 2 pi over 4. That means it's pi over 2. It means that after 2 pi over 2, I'm going to start again. The phase shift, I have a phase shift here. It's pi over 4 unit to the left because it's plus pi over 4. Or if, guys, I want to give you a trick. If you want to really see the phase shift left or right, you take the expression inside the sign, you solve it equal to 0. If I solve it equal to, it gives me x is equal minus pi over 4. It means I'm going backward pi over 4. And I have a vertical shift up and down. I have here plus 5. I have 5 units up. It means the midline is not anymore x prime or x. It means it's going to move up 5 units up. How are we going to start to graph? First of all, I need to move the midline. So since I have, guys, that I have a 5 units shifting up, it means the midline is not more anymore x prime or x. I'm going up y equal to 5. It means the graph going to be here. Okay, the graph gonna be here. This is the first step. Now, when I say, guys, that I have a shift, phase shift minus pi over 4, it means the figure will start at this point. And where it's gonna end, it will end at the point after the period. It means to find the ending, you need to add the starting point, you need to add on it the period, because after this period, I'm starting a new phase, I'm starting a new figure again. So when I say that I have a phase shift minus pi over 4, it means my figure will start at minus pi over 4. How I will find where it's gonna end? It's gonna end at minus pi over 4 plus the period. So it means that it will end at minus pi over 4 plus pi over 2. So the ending point is pi over 4. And what my function is I'm drawing it. So I have the midline is 5. So the amplitude is 2. Okay, guys. So I need to go down 2. So 5 minus 2 gives me the 3. So this is my minimum point. And my amplitude is 2, so I'm going to go up 2. So 5 plus 2 gives me 7. So the range is going to be between 3 and 7. So I know that my range is going to be between 3 and 7 now. And this is my midline. The very important part is to know how we're going to divide the values of the period. So I will put here that my starting point is minus pi over 4 and my ending point is pi over 4. So this distance here, I need to cut it in 4 equal parts. So how are you going to find the distance between minus pi over 4 and pi over 4? We subtract the biggest minus the smallest. So pi over 4 minus pi over 4, and then we divide it by 4. So it gives me 2 pi over 4 over 4. So it's going to give me pi over 8. It means that each part is pi over 8. So I'll start here, minus pi over 4 plus pi over 8 gives me minus pi over 8. Plus pi over 8 gives me 0. Plus pi over 8 gives me pi over 8. Plus pi over 8 gives me pi over 4. And now I have all the particular points of my function. And now I need to go back to graph it. So those are my particular points. And now we know that the sign starts from the midline. So this is the first point. Then this is my second, third, this is the 4 point, and this is the last point. And all what we need to do now is to join it. So I'm gonna join, this is the first point. I'm going up, down, till the minimum, and then I'm going up. And now this orange figure represents to sine for x plus pi plus 5. And if I want to complete the figure, all what we need to do is going to do the same. We complete it, we go down, we complete it, and I will have all the figure of this function. This is on one period, and then we copy paste the same figure. Now we're going to do the same example for cosine and the same steps, so we'll get all this part. So let's move to do another example. Now if I want to graph minus 2 cosine to x minus pi minus 3, again and again I will factorize by 2. So I will have minus 2 cosine to x minus pi over 2 minus 3. And then I will start. What is my amplitude? Did you see the minus, guys? This minus doesn't say that the amplitude is minus. This minus this minus show me that I have a reflection with respect to x prime or x. And this again, I will do it in the end before we will graph the last step. So the amplitude is absolute value of minus 2, so it gives me 2. What is my period? It's 2 pi over 2, so my period is pi. Now, I have a phase shift of pi over 2. Again, what I solve it, so it's going to give me 2x is equal to pi over pi, x equal to pi over 2. So I have, I'm going to the right, pi over 2. It means I will start from which point? This is my starting point. So this is my starting point. And I have a vertical shift 3 units down. It means what's going to happen to my midline? Midline going to move to y equal to minus 3. So now, the starting point gonna be pi over 2 because of the phase shift. The midline gonna go down, and we're gonna be the end. How are we gonna find where is the ending point? We add the period to the starting point. What is my period here? We got it, it's pi. So we're gonna make pi over 2 plus pi to see where the function gonna end. So it will end at 3 pi over 2. So I'm gonna start at pi over 2 and it will end at 3 pi over 2. Now, we find the distance divided by 4 to see what is the distance of each part of this interval. So 3 pi over 2 minus pi over 2 over 4, it gives me pi over 4. It means I need to add every time I'm moving pi over 4 to get, guys, all this interval. So pi over 2 plus pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. Now I have 4 pi over 4, so it's pi, 5 pi over 4, and 6 pi over 4 gives me 3 pi over 2. So now I will start from here and I will end here. And now we said that the midline gonna be y equal to minus 3, so we're gonna go down minus 3. So I am here, guys. Now, how are we gonna find the maximum and the minimum point? Again, the amplitude is 2, so I'm at minus 3 minus minus 2, so minus 3 plus 2 gives me minus 1, so or I can say I'm going up 2, so it's minus 2 minus 1, and here I'm gonna go down minus 4 minus 5, so the maximum is minus 1, the minimum is minus 5, and then I will plot the point. So I'm starting here. I'm going to go down here and here. But is it the function? No. But what we said in the beginning, I have here a minus. It means I need in the end to reflect it with respect to x prime or x. So if it was plus here, the function going to be this one, as I see it dotted. And it's on purpose I left it dotted. No, now I need to do the reflection with respect to x prime or x. It means this point going to be here now. So my starting will be here. The point here on the, not on the x prime or x, if I want to be more accurate, it's on the midline. So here reflection with respect, I can say to the midline because it's not on the x prime or x. Now we continue. And this one gonna be here. This point will be will be here. This one gonna be here, to stay the same, and this one will be here. And now I can draw, this is my cosine, that's it. And then if I want to complete the figure, I will do with symmetry, and I will have all the cosine function. That's it for this video. In the next video, we will do the inverse trigonometric